Good morning. Thank you, Lord, for another beautiful day today. Thank you guys for joining in. I got a brother here that's him and his partners have really turned the pizza industry upside down. We call him, his name is Mr. Derrick Moore, aka Mo, aka Alpha Theta Non Greater Nu, aka Tennessee State University Tigers football team, where he played linebacker, smashing people heads like my Sans Lee Smith. This, like I said, this brother here is really listen. It's really a blessing to have you on the show
Thank you.
because as I read your bio, and then I kind of back because you guys are younger. You guys really done something that a lot of us wish we could do.
Mm,
Start something from scratch. But let
yeah.
me jump into it, Mr. Derrick. Mr. Derrick Moore is a Nashville native. Like I say, he played football for Tennessee State University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in political science. He also studied at Nashville School of Law. Mr. Moore is a seasoned operations manager where he's involved with many startup companies. Which, here's something I didn't know. Mr. Moore was director of operations for the Green Truck Moving and Storage Company. Upon selling the Green Truck Moving and Storage Company, Mr. Moore and his partner E.J. Reed, Clint Gray opened Slim and Husky's Pizza, a fast casual pizza shop with a love for visual art and hip hop and R&B culture. They have since launched a frozen food division within the company and opened 4 stores in 3 states during a pandemic. Mr. Moore is the co-founder and chief development officer. Mr. Moore actively is involved in communities that his business serves. As a company, Slim and Huskies build community with local ingredients and local craft breweries about advocating for the people and business that make every area great. He proudly provides job and skills for those who are often overlooked, mentor students at local Nashville schools, and speak on behalf of the community. Mr. Moore spent his time tinkering the many hobbies he picked up during the COVID shutdown, and his duds and love received from his wonderful children and his beautiful wife, Martisa. Listen,
That's
without
it.
further ado, brother, I want to introduce you to. I know a lot of people might not be watching that, but I promise you, they're going to be tuning in, brother, because you are a definite inspiration, and we want to share your inspiration and journey with everybody today. So,
Yeah, I
Mr. Moore,
appreciate you having me,
yes,
Sid.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Newt.
Go ahead, Mr. Moore. So basically, kind of tell us how the vision came about with Slim and Huskies, because basically it was a startup company, correct?
Correct.
Kind of give us a brief history on you and your partners, and kind of take us back, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. So all three of us would EJ and I have been knowing each other since second grade. Uh we met Clint in high school, and we all end up going to TSU. Clint and I signed uh football scholarships at TSU. EJ had a presidential scholarship at TSU. And so we enrolled in TSU 2003. The fall 2003, all graduated 2007 from TSU. You know, we had a good time, man. We kicked it, we all pledged, all three of us are noobs, all Alpha Theta. We had a great time just building a bond, along with some of our other close friends at TSU. And after college, we all, went into our respective fields. Clint was working at sales for Ajax Turner, so he was a Budweiser distributor. EJ was working at Commons Filtration, financial and finance, and I was bouncing all over the place for a minute till I found myself as air traffic controller for the Federal Aviation Administration. Uh, I did that for a year and some change, and the entrepreneurial, spirit was just in me, right? And so I moved back home, threw the deuces up to the
Mm.
FAA, moved back home, and asked the fellas, before enrolling in law school, I asked the fellas if they, EJ and Clint, if they want to start a moving company with me. And it was like, kind of skeptical, like, man, what's that about? Boom, boom, something like this. And man, we not gonna reinvent the wheel. We just gonna make it a little bit more innovative. And so we started the company called the Green Truck Moving Company, and it was an eco-friendly moving company. So we ran our trucks on biodiesel fuel and recycle all our customers' moving materials, planted trees for our customers through a foundation called Trees for the Future. And so we ended up starting that company, man, ran that company, bootstrapped it, started with, $1,000 a piece and ran that company and grew that company. 7 years in, we sold the company for a little over seven figures. And in the midst of that, in 2015, we sold that in 2017. So January 2017 is when the company sold. We were started working on Slim Huskies in 2015, and we end up opening. God's timing is always the right timing, right? We need a little bit more money to help us, finish the build out for Slimmer Huskies, and we end up opening March 2017. So sold the company January 2017, had a little bit of money left, and put the rest of that in Slimmer Huskies in March 2017. Um, and Slimmer Huskies just came about. Man, we always we would travel with the moving company. We would travel to, Chicago, New York, DC, some of these larger cities, and we would see these restaurants that had the feel of a neighborhood, um, and we wanted to bring that back to Nashville, right? It had the identity of the neighborhood, right? And we, of course, we had our meeting threes here in Nashville. Of course, Prince is the godmother, what I mean, of Nashville, especially Nashville, the culinary scene. But we felt like, man, it was nothing that spoke to everybody, younger generation, older generation, and all walks of life, right? And so, but we would see that in these neighborhoods and in some of these larger cities, and we feel like we knew pizza. When you on a truck, you step in that gas station, you stopping at, pizza was quick, so we eating pizza, right? And so, anyways, man, we started cultivating the idea of Slimmer Huskies in 2015, based off that want to do something a little bit different, in versus the moving business being very hard, which restaurants is maybe harder, but it's a very stressful industry, right? Ain't no smiles in moving until you out the house and you ain't damaged no furniture. You know what I mean? But with a restaurant, people walk in with a smile, and Lord willing, your service is on par and your product is on par that they leave with a smile, right? And that's something that we had a desire to do that fits our personality a lot more. And man, when we started thinking about Slim Huskies, we wanted to blend all the things that we like. We 80s baby, so 90s R&B and is like the pinnacle of on the playlist, any playlist for us, right? And so we want to fuse the music that we love. We also had a love for the visual arts. So, we definitely have appreciation for the artist community, and especially a local artist community. So we wanted to infuse the visual arts in Cinema Huskies. And then pizza, man. We grew up on pizza. Everything we did as kids was surrounded around pizza. So if we had you remember the book it with Pizza Hut, pizza, right? You read some books, you get a pizza. After the after school, you get a good school week, you get pizza. Your football team, baseball team, end of the year is pizza. WWF, SmackDown parties is pizza. Birthday parties, pizza. So we wanted to bring all the things that we love into our space, and that's how we created Cinema Huskies, man. And the name, if you want to dive into that, said the name was just an inside joke between Clint, and EJ. We on a truck three hots in the cot for, 12, 13, 14 hours, man, you get to learn a whole lot about a person. And man, we had this inside joke, just, reminiscing in the truck growing up. Clint and I were like little husky kids, right? And so EJ was a slim kid, and then my brothers also were slim dudes as well. So we just had a little joke about, when we used to go school shopping. We had J.C. Penney's or Sears or whatever. And my mama, she like, all right, she let my brothers get, slim the regular fit clothes. They might walk away with, 6, 7 pair of jeans, what I'm saying, a bunch of cool shirts, and then but on the Husky section, you got a little elastic on the jeans, and we might walk away with like 4 because it was, a couple of dollars more. So, so it was a little joke between Slim and Husky, and then it was just a good play into who we are, but also the pieces. So you can get a Slim, or you can get a Husky, or you can make your Slim Husky, a Husky Slim, however you want to do it. But that's how we came up with the name, just an inside joke between the three of us. So, man, it was, it was born that way, just between us and being authentic with who we are.
Brother Moore, that in itself is inspiring, from having a moving company. Then you guys, now listen, everybody got to understand that, moving company, it was probably a little stressful, but from the moving company to the restaurant, that was a big leap of faith.
Yeah,
So I,
100%.
I know God had his hand all in it. And like you said, it's in his time. See, what we got to understand, it happens in God's time, not our time. Everybody be want, but you got to be patient. Your season is coming. You got to pray for it. And guess what? You got to put the work in because nothing is going to be given to you.
Yeah,
Because when it's given to you, you don't appreciate it. But you brothers stepped out on faith. And that's what I always tell people. You gotta listen, if you take the first 3 steps, I promise you God gonna take the rest of them for you. But you
yeah,
gotta be willing to walk out on faith. You brothers not only walked out on faith, you started a pizzeria, a company from the ground. So listen. So how did you guys come up with all the names for the pizza? Because I'm pretty sure you guys know about food calls. Like, how do you guys jump into to learning about different aspects of the restaurant business? So kind of tell us, because people don't understand here that restaurants is one of the most challenging business that you can do. And I tell people that people say, well, we had problems with the pandemic. Man, I had problems when I first opened my first Subway shop in Westwood. Man, I couldn't,
yeah,
it was tough for me to give team members because we just couldn't get people to work. And get this, we are, now it used to be restaurant supplemental jobs. But now, since we pay so well, it's not. But people got to understand that you can't come to a restaurant, work part time, pay all your bills from it. You just
oh
can't do
yeah,
it. So you got
yeah,
to go out and get a trade. You got to go out and get your listen. Education is a tool. You have to get your education and experience. If I listen, I will hire a person that has 20 years experience versus a person have a doctorate degree. I'm just sorry.
Mhm.
Because experience supersedes anything because
Yeah,
they have done it. So
yeah,
so so dive into it, Mr. Moore. Kind of because we're gonna talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I want you to kind
yeah.
of jump into the good. Tell us how you guys come up with the Aspire theme. Because listen, man, this is what I want to do. Franchising. Mr. Moore, I've been franchised for years. Now I own and operate 15 checkers and riders throughout 3 or 4 states with plans to add more to my portfolio. But when I think about it, I got enough knowledge now where I can start my own.
Hmm.
And from my experience, Mr. Moore, I have been, put it this way, when you negotiate with a person, your word is your bond.
Yeah,
And when I come to a brand, if I ask you, hey, here's the things I want, if you can't produce it, you need to tell me. But
yeah,
don't treat me. I want you to treat me like you treat everybody else. But I'm gonna tell you how God works. God said, "Listen, Cedric, it's time for you to go do your own thing." That's what I'm gonna build up to once we get to the end of this. But I want you to
okay.
go ahead and explain to us about the brand, how you guys came up with the like with your names of your
Yeah,
pizza line.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we came up with so we had a piece of property on Buchanan, North Nashville,
Mhm.
37208 zip code. That's right by TSU, Fisk, Meharry. But Cannon is parallel to Jefferson Street, perpendicular to DB Tide, right? So we smack dab in North Nashville, the heart of Black Nashville, and we had this piece of property that we had bought before Cinnamon Huskies was even really thought of, and it was a garage, and we made that our basically our test kitchen, and so we bought equipment, bought ovens, everything. None of us really had restaurant experience at all. EJ and I may have worked at a hot dog spot, Jody Maroney's back when Opry Mills first opened. We were 15 years old. And but other than that, restaurant, we didn't have restaurant experience, but we did have entrepreneurial experience. We knew how to keep up with compliance. One thing the moving industry taught us was compliance. When the moving industry, you dealing with the state, federal, city, all type of compliance, sales, customer service, all those things we understood. And we brought that into the pizza industry or the restaurant industry. We just didn't know how to formulate these ingredients in mass scale, right? Like we all feel like we know how to cook at home. But you have to be able to formulate these ingredients and these products in mass scale. And that takes a science to do that. So anyways, we working on ingredients. We hired our friend Chef Jason Williams on, and he helped us formulate these ingredients, and we came up with a taste. Every single thing of Summer Huskies, from the sauce to the cheese blend, we handpicked. We tasted, some wild cheeses, some crazy cheese, some crazy sauces. All these, we did all that in house in this garage. In this garage with no heat and no AC. So when it was cold outside, we felt it. It was a car garage, so if it was 20 degrees, we was in 20-degree weather, hands and knees working on this pizza. If it was 100 degrees outside, we felt it. So we worked our craft for about a year and a half before we felt like we had something. And so we came up, with the ingredients, with the pieces, with the names. We knew we wanted to be unique, and so Clint is credited for coming up with the names of the pieces. So the CeeLo Green is a playoff CeeLo Green. The Ronnie Ronnie Ron playoff. It's our pepperoni pizza playoff Tony Tony Tone. The smoking herb with chicken or salmon. We understand that, in our communities, everybody don't eat beef or pork, right? So we wanted to make sure we had products on the menu that matches everybody's palates and dietary restrictions, right? We got a vegan piece of the nothing but the V thing, and it's all a play off of our just again our upbringing and the songs and the groups that we grew up enjoying. And so the cinnamon rolls, the Cookie Monster, the Too Short Cake, all those things. We had a cinnamon roll called we used to call it was a name of Halle Berry, but we had to change it to the Miss Berry. But in the 90s, who was, everybody wanted Halle Berry was the finest to some, you know what I'm saying? So it was all a play off how we grew up, you know what I mean? And so that's how we came up with the names, the ingredients, everything that we did, the processes, which is very important in the restaurant industry, in any business, is having these processes to scale. So every single, I mean, from walking in a restaurant to flipping on a light to the first thing you do, the manager does when they got a truck that come in, an order come in, you breaking down the truck and then you delegating. But we had to do these things and learn on the fly, because we didn't have restaurant experience. We didn't have the what do you call it? We weren't a franchise, right? So we had to do all these things on our own and started all these things on our own. So yeah, man, it was all trial and error, a whole lot of faith, a whole lot of listening and researching and learning from folks who done it before.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So listen, I apologize about that.
You are good.
Yeah. So you guys in a garage, Clint's house garage of your chef or Clint?
No, no, no. We purchased this garage, so we
Oh,
was in
y'all
the
purchased.
garage. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It was an old auto shop garage.
What? But you know what? When you put that's called sweat equity. You
Yeah.
guys establish sweat equity into your company. And look at today. How many restaurants do you guys own now today?
We
On
got
operate.
let's see, 7 brick and mortars, one in the airport, Nashville Airport, 3 college campuses. So 11 operations.
You got 11 stores. So you have any plans of franchising in the future?
Yeah, we've been talking about franchising a lot. Just thinking about growth, thinking about scale. So I didn't say shun the idea of franchising for a while, but we knew we had to build out we had to build out the model and perfect it. So we'll probably do maybe two more stores. We got one going up in Franklin. We got one about to open up on Jackson State's campus. Um, and then one that we're working on right now. Well, one that we're working on right now in Birmingham, and in the LOI we got working on one in Chicago in the Pullman area. And so after those four, I think that, you know, we'll be we would have tested enough markets. Because that's the thing about franchising. You got to test different markets. You can't just work in your backyard. You know what I mean? So test different markets. We understand the scale and how to make it happen for the franchisees. Because as a franchisor, when we do become that, we want our franchisees to be successful. And so we want to give them the tools. So I think after that, man, we probably be diving into franchising.
That's really, you guys are blessing. How old are you, my ex?
39.
You are 30, it's 39. Man, I'm 54. I feel like an old coon, man. Old school. I got this young lady Westwood call me old school. I guess I am old school. That's a blessing, brother. I think I can recall when I started my first Subway shop when I was 21, 22, straight out of TSU.
Hmm.
So I've been doing it, and I tell people now, the blessing behind me is that I've never worked for
Yeah.
I've always, entrepreneur from my dad, to my brother. So that's a blessing that you guys did it because not only, you setting it up so our kids can have a seat at the table. Because
Absolutely.
we still a lot of other franchisors that's doing great things, but we see you guys. We got 3 brothers that started something from scratch, got have 11 locations and instead of growing. So in itself, brother, that is a blessing in disguise. And
Thank you.
when I met you through my son's Blaylock, you introduced me to you guys. I heard of you guys, but I never met you face to face on homecoming. But definitely, you inspire me because there's been some times, you've probably seen that too. Let's go to the bad part about you. When you wake up, man, you just like, Lord, he won't put on too much on it that we can't handle, but it gets
Yeah,
challenging sometimes because
absolutely.
you know, restaurant is like a bell curve. And it's like it goes up and comes down, and you have to learn how to adapt to these situations. So kind of
Mhm.
tell me how you guys adapt because you got partners. So you got 3 partners,
Yeah,
and I know how it is. You got to split the pie within 3 partners and kind
yeah,
of, kind of dive into like things, the challenges of you guys have gone through thus far. Not,
yeah,
I know outside of COVID, but just
yeah.
now, just kind of give us a brief overview of what you guys have gone through.
Well, definitely. I say, the number one challenge with all restaurants, but definitely minority-owned restaurants, black-owned restaurants is, man, we always are seem to be underfunded. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So when you building these restaurants, sometimes the build is it's hard to run a restaurant with just enough,
Mm.
right? Or it's hard to run a restaurant with just enough to get open. You know what I mean? And that's how, but we've grown like that. God has blessed us immensely with allowing us to just continue to grow. But then after a while, I mean, Cedric, you and I talked about this before, like that's not sustainable. Um, And so definitely I would say funds, resources, access to capital is always a challenge. But then also, uh, it's a blessing, it's a gift and a curse to have, two other partners. And as a partnership and a friendship, um, you have to, it's a blessing because all decisions aren't on you, and when things are hard, you got somebody else to lean on. But it's also a challenge because it might be, you may feel strong about one thing and the other partner may feel strong about another thing. But you got to compromise, and compromising isn't as easy as the word coming out your mouth. You know what I mean? Like it can be a very challenging thing, especially if you feel strong about something. But we've always been able to work those things out. A lot of other challenges that we deal with is just the economy, man. You know, inflation is insane right now. Um, labor is insane right now. And it's very hard that balance between not pushing these things off to the customer. Um, but some of it you have to, right? Um, and then, just the trends of the market, the trends of the industry. We had kiosk in our stores at one point in time. We thought that was the trend after COVID. Like everybody was not going to appreciate the face-to-face interactions. Um, but then that only lasted for a little while, but we had to make a quick pivot, remove the kiosk or keep one or two in there, but bring the line back to people can come down and choose their own pieces. So, and that bell curve is real. Like you up, and then next thing you know, you got sales decline, and you got to get in there and figure out why. You know what I mean? So, but we've been blessed to kind of almost have a stoic type of energy and personality, right? Where you don't ride the highs too high and you don't ride the lows too low. You got to stay even keel on it all, because at the end of the day, number one, we got to make decisions and sound decisions for our employees, the people we employ, because they depend on us to make these sound decisions, right? And then also, um, we can't live off and be emotional when we making these decisions. And in business, you lose your shirt if you run your business off emotions. You know what I mean? And so we've been able to meet these challenges by, definitely our faith in God, um, and just knowing that, during these hard times, any hard times that we've had, we've leaned on Him. Even before that, we know we leaned on Him, and during the hard times, we thanking Him. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to be in it, you know what I mean, and wake up and fight. But running a restaurant, man, is probably the most challenging thing I've ever done. You know what I mean? It's very risky. It's very volatile. Um, but it's also rewarding as well, right? And so, when you putting up all this capital to get these buildings up, it ain't just coming back like that. You know what I mean? It don't work like that. And I think, with social media has done to a lot of us. And then also I think that social media access to, celebrities and stuff like that is like you don't get an opportunity to see the back end of some of these people that's successful. You know what I mean? So all you see is the success, right? But you don't know that, they might have just had to put their house on they put their house up, you know what I mean? Or they ain't getting paid, everybody else getting paid, but they not getting paid, right? Or you don't the sleepless nights, or waking up with anxiety because you don't know what's gonna be next. Paying vendors off, like all these things is hard. You getting taxed left and right. You know what I'm saying? All these things are the challenge of running a business, and but also the challenge of running a restaurant, because there's so many moving pieces and moving parts in a restaurant. And I think that, you know, as a community, we, like you said in the beginning, man, we got to be patient. We got to be more patient. Ray Kroc was in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? When he met the McDonald's founders. You know what I mean? The owner of KFC, I think he might have been in his 60s. Samuel Jackson didn't get his first, major role until he was 40. He was 40. Me and my wife was looking at School Days the other day.
Hmm.
It's like, how old was Samuel L. Jackson in this scene at the KFC? He was 40. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? You know
Wow.
what I mean? And now he the biggest selling, actor in the box office. You know what I mean? But so it's like we got to slow down and not rush these things, and just trust the process. So yeah,
Brother, let me say something. Like you said, a lot of us go into business undercapitalized. We
yeah,
don't have a business plan. We're undercapitalized, and then we get into it. We try to max all our credit cards out. That's where
hmm,
you're in trouble. So, see, a lot of too, like you just said, people don't understand. We have to pay sales taxes, and people sales taxes are due on the 20th. We collect that from our guests, and then we pay the state. We have to pay FICA. We got to pay unemployment. So it's a lot of things. Move, like you said, a lot of moving parts. And when operate any business, a restaurant,
yeah,
what have you, you got a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know. They think that hey, we just jump out and do it. No, like I always tell people, the first two people in business you want to get you a good CPA and get you a good attorney.
hmm,
That's the most important two you need off the bat.
yeah,
You got those two that'll kind of keep you going in the right direction. Or like I said, reach out to people that's in. See, what I don't understand, a lot of people go into business, and I know got egos and things of that nature. Reach out to people, just like you and I talk.
hmm,
We need to come together as one. And I keep reiterating, we as I'm gonna say it right now, black people,
hmm,
black, whatever y'all want to say, African Americans, and whatever you want to call them, we got to come together and we need to do what's right so our kids can have a seat at the table. And
hmm,
until we not come, first of all, until we not put God first, we never will come together.
hmm,
We got to put God first in our plan. Listen, we got to, God is proud of us right now, but
yeah,
he's using us right now, Mr. Moore. He's using us to help build his kingdom. And for us to build his kingdom, we got to get others involved. We got to show others. We got to show kids and that, hey, you can go out here and make it. If you work hard, get your education, put God, you can do it. You can
yeah,
do anything you put your mind to, Mr. Moore. Because I tell people, I had some highs and lows. You have to. I had some lows and highs just, not too long ago.
yeah,
People don't know that. We have certain things that we deal with every day, and it gets to be challenging. So that's why you have to, first of all, I have to find myself in a place where I'm talking to God, and this has to be a quiet place. And I talk to God when things are going good and going bad. I just don't talk to him when things are going good. Because you and I know when COVID for us, for checkers and riders, I think that was the best time for us. You had a lot of PPP money going on. You had a lot of stuff going on to assist us where we really took that and thrived from it. We didn't go out and buy no Lamborghinis or anything, but we
yeah,
went out and did what we needed to do because we wanted to make sure we take care of our team members first. And like I tell people, I pay my team members before I pay myself.
yeah.
I always do
Had
that.
to, yeah,
You always take care of them because man, you surround yourself around good people take care of you.
yeah,
And you notice how people treat. I hear horror stories of how different employers treat their employees. But guess what? You're not doing them hurting yourself,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
so so you hit that nail right on the head, brother Moore. But we really got to come together. You and I and other business, we need to come together and have more platforms where we get all involved. I'm talking about all. We can all shine together. We can
mhm,
all shine together as people. I don't care
yeah,
if you black, white, pink, or green, but we need to first of all show our youngsters that they can make it happen. They
yeah,
can do it. We'll share stuff on Facebook that's irrelevant,
yeah,
but you won't share this.
yeah,
And that's to me, it's disheartening to me because you know what? God sees everything that we do. And like I said, until we come together, brother Moore, we're gonna
yeah,
continue to go down that same road with that crab in the bucket mentality.
yeah,
But brothers like you and I, we're gonna make a change. We're gonna make a change. We're gonna stay in these communities. We're gonna give back, brother. But
hmm,
but man, listen, I appreciate everything you saying to us today. You've been on this show, and I really appreciate you guys started something from scratch. I did it back in the day. I tried it. It was tough. It was okay, but it was tough. But I was
yes,
doing stuff by myself. I never had any partners, but you had partners that you can fall back on. So that was a great thing to hear, brother. Great
yeah,
thing to
man,
hear. So let's dive into it. I know you said you do a lot for the school. So let's dive. into the school system? Kind of give us some heavy community environments that you guys do.
Yeah, so for us, man, education is key, right? So, we talk about the black plight, right, in America. Um, number one, faith in God, spirituality, the black family, um, and then the other tool to I guess what we consider economic freedom would be literacy and education, right? And so a lot of times we put a lot of emphasis as a community on like the arts and entertainment and sports, but for us, the three of us, um, we applaud and reward those in the education system. So we do a lot with the schools. I think in May when kids graduated, picked a handful of schools in Memphis, Atlanta, and Nashville, all of our markets, Murfreesboro, and for the kids that graduated, they came in and they got a free pizza. You know what I mean? We do scholarships for our some of our graduating seniors that work for us. Um, we give them a pair of shoes, Nikes, and whatever college they going to, and then we also give them a little check, right, to help them out, whether it be for books or just any needs that they have going to school. And then we also do these lunch and learns with um, a lot of schools, whether it be from elementary school, high school, middle school, all the way up to college. We do a lot with Morehouse University. We're on the campus of Morehouse. TSU, we do a whole lot with TSU. Always willing to talk to those kids. They right down the street. We've done some things with Vanderbilt. We've done some things with MTSU, Belmont, UTC. So man, we put ourselves out there to tell our story, to inspire, and also to give the knowledge that we have that we've gained in business because we feel like that's how we receive our blessings. You receive it by being a servant and by giving, and those are the things that we do. We believe in serving the community. TSU think work serve, right? So that's in us. And so those are all, we do a lot with the community though. With the Titans, One Foundation, we're partners with the Titans. And so we do a lot with them in the community, Amazon. So we've been able to bless others through our entrepreneurial endeavors.
That's awesome. So that's awesome. I think once we get off this right here, we're gonna formulate something. We need to come together as one to kind of pull our resources, brother, seriously, because if we don't do it, I don't think nobody's
Oh,
they'll
yeah,
do it, but they everybody have a hidden agenda. You
yeah,
and I know that you can't have a hidden agenda when you're doing God's work.
yeah,
It's no hidden agenda. Either you are, or you're not,
yeah,
and we have to put our egos aside.
yeah,
You got to put your ego aside. It's not about who getting the most shine, right? Because God gonna bless us. At the end of the day, it's about the goal. We got to stay focused on what the goals are, right?
yeah,
We stay focused on just like when you start your business in the community, we got to stay focused on why God have us in this world. My mom and
yeah,
dad and your mom and dad just didn't have you. God has already predestined all of our what He wanted to do. He have us out working, doing His work. So what we got to do is we got to come together right now today as one, right?
hmm,
Men of God, women of God, people of God, and do the business. And when I say do the business, it's kind of what God need us to do. Okay.
yeah.
Your store is on Union Avenue, right?
Mhm.
So tell everybody right now, your Cinnamon Husk is on what's the address on Union Avenue?
634 Union Avenue. And
634.
yeah,
Okay.
right across from the old commercial appeal.
Commercial. Yep.
In the medical district.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
and yeah, man, it's a beautiful store, man. We actually won a AIA award, which is the architectural award, uh,
Wow.
for the
Congratulations.
design. Shout out to and man, one of my proudest moments with opening that building. A lot of people don't know. Most people don't know. is that on that we had a black realtor,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Cassandra Bell Warren, the attorney on there, Andrew Perry was black.
Mm-hmm.
The architect on there was Moody Nolan, which is the
Mm-hmm.
largest minority architectural firm. Ron
Mm-hmm.
Thompson was the architect on that. The contractors on that was Frank Anderson and Carlos Pfeiffer, two really good friends of mine. And then the subs, most of the subs was black. The plumbing sub was black. The HVAC sub was black. Um, and and the building was owned by black folks, right? Which is us. And so, the banker was black. You know what I mean?
Who's your bank? Who was your bank?
It was at the time it was Reliant Bank. They
All
have
right. Okay.
since sold. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But Stephen Fawahimi was the banker on that. Man, so that store is my favorite store just because of that. But also because it's in Memphis, right? So my excuse the weedy, but my mom's from Memphis, my grandma's from Memphis. A lot of my family still live in Memphis, uncles and cousins. And so I spent a lot of my time in Memphis as a child. And so man, that's one of the stores that's very fond to me. But yeah, we're on 634 Union, man. Come by. Come check us out.
You know what? I've had probably about, like I said, 10 to 15 people call me and ask me because they hadn't been there before.
Hmm.
And, we're always in the blessing business. And
Yeah.
I know that you are and I am too. So today, I am very, very a strong advocate of Memphis and Shelby County school systems. Not only that, I mean, my stores in Missouri, we getting involved with that school system. Mississippi, we getting heavily involved. So if my daughter's watching, you need to go out there, Alexandria, this week, and I want those schools, Miss Bobby, I want those schools adopted this week in Mississippi. So
Yeah.
we have adopted 15 schools in the Memphis Shelby County schools.
That's great.
And your restaurant is by Downtown Elementary. One of
Hmm.
my good friends named Miss Phyllis Anderson. She's an educator over there. And what I want to do for them is I want to bless them. I want them to have your excellent pizza. We're gonna bless them one day.
All
So
right.
we're gonna treat the whole staff and the educators because listen, man, they got their job cut out for them. I know
Oh yeah, they
Downtown
do.
Elementary, great school, but we want to bless them today. We're gonna bless them, and we're gonna continue to bless others in the school system because some of these school systems are having it tough. I mean, I just got a call. I'm not gonna say the name. I just got a call from saying educator is really struggling. So, we're in the business of blessing folks,
Yeah.
right? And we're going to continue to do it, brother, because guess what? It's you have to, in order, to get your blessing, you have to bless others, and don't
Absolutely.
look for nothing in return. We don't, we don't,
Yeah.
we don't look for nothing in return. So I'm gonna partner with you. I'm gonna partner with you. We're gonna do that school, and we're gonna do two other schools. I
Awesome.
was gonna do Westwood, but Westwood, they got some bougie teachers over there. They like some other pizza, so I'm not gonna deal with them. So we're gonna definitely do downtown elementary, brother. So we're gonna do
All right.
downtown
Sure.
elementary, and after this call, brother, we're gonna formulate, if that's okay with you, we're gonna formulate something that we can get others involved. I mean, they don't have to be in restaurant business.
Yeah.
I can go down the line. We need to get together. We need to
Yeah.
come up with something so we can show our youngsters that it can happen. It can
Yeah.
happen. You put God first and include him in your plan. Because listen, brother, I fail a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
But God said, get back up.
Yeah.
Every time I fail, brother, I got back harder and stronger. And you
Mhm.
know what? I love when people talked about me because that made me listen. I love it. Don't stop talking about me. Continue to talk about me. Continue to pray for me because I'm gonna continue to pray for you because
Mhm.
I know what my job is on earth. You need to find out what yours is. Okay.
Yeah.
So good brother Moore, I appreciate you, sir. I'm in closing. I want you to close out with some good things that you want to share with everybody because listen, brother, we're gonna continue to support you. And that's
Yeah.
another thing we're gonna do too, brother Moore. We don't support one another. We need to support one another because I'm telling you something. Listen, if we can keep our money with our people,
Yeah.
we can do it. But we
Yeah.
don't because
Yeah.
we don't do it because I don't want him to make more money. Listen, guys, it's so much money for everybody to make out here. We need to come together. Like I say, we got to come together, people. I'm
Yeah.
talking about from the pastors all the way down to the business community, all the way down to the school systems. We got to come together and what's do right. We got to do. We don't do right by God, brother. Stuff gonna continue to happen in this world right now.
Yeah,
We got
man.
to do right. And listen, I know you on board. We just got to get other people to join in with this, right?
Yeah.
Join in, and we can do it. We need to see these young kids. Got to continue to see us. I'm gonna continue to do these podcasts and share you guys stories, you guys, because this. Listen, you are a blessing. I am a blessing. So we got to continue to do it, brother. All right.
Yeah.
So I want you to. I want my good brother Alpha Theta Non-Grader KA side TSU football team, aka Mo Money, Big Money, whatever they call it. My good brother, I want you to close it out, brother, because I appreciate you and love you, brother. Go ahead
Yeah,
and
man.
close it out for us.
I'll just say, to aspiring entrepreneurs and anybody, educators, any career, is you know, you got to have faith in yourself, have faith in whatever the work it is you're doing. And you're gonna have obstacles, but Marcus Aurelius said that the obstacle is the way, right? So you got to understand that you can't go around it, you can't go over it, you got to go through it, and that's how we got to start living our lives, man, and approaching these challenges that we have in life is to go through it. Go through it with your family, go through it with God. But the number one thing, man, is to have faith in yourself and faith in God, man, and it'll happen. All things is for you will be for you, and and enjoy life, man. It's short. Life is fleeting. You gotta enjoy life. You can't make life all about the wins that society has said is a win, right? If you waking up in the morning, you got your family with you, and you got some people around you that love you. You know that God love you, even if you single. Like that's a win. A lot of people don't have that. You know what I mean? And so society has put a lot of pressure on us to be rich and famous and have all these things. But just embrace what you have, and that's a win. So enjoy your life. That's it, man. That's how I close it
Thank you,
out.
brother. I appreciate it. You close it that way. You know what? I want to touch on one thing before I leave here. Another thing too, we got to fix too. Life is short, like you said. I've been going through years. I had my best friend. I'm gonna tell you, my brother, he made that connection yesterday. His name is Holly Williams. I hadn't talked to that brother since 2015. So what I want to say to you, to friends and family, if you got a problem, you need to fix it now. We
Mhm.
got to, because when you look back on things and if something low fear happened to me or him, we're gonna wish we could have fixed it.
Yeah,
So if listen, people who got a problem with somebody, just fix it. Be the bigger person.
yeah,
Let your ego go because God gonna bless you. God not gonna bless you when you hold grudges against people.
hmm,
He's not gonna bless you. So whatever is going on with you, give it over to God. He's
yeah,
gonna take you from listen. He gonna take you from here all up to here, but it's in His time. All right. So I want to say that when you touched about friends, brother, I want to say that about my good brother, good friend. We've been friends for years, man. I love you, good brother. And like I said, if anybody out there, if you got a problem with somebody, fix it today. Fix it
yeah,
now, because the next second in your life is not guaranteed.
yeah, man.
All right,
Yeah.
brother. I love you. And, and,
Love you,
and
my
like I
brother.
said, we gonna come together. We gonna formulate something. I promise you. And we gonna get others involved with this. We
Yeah,
gonna get others involved to see this. It don't care who you are, but our people, young kids need to see this. Okay, so
mhm.
I'm gonna make sure I share this. I want to listen, people. Listen, if you're looking at this, if you look at it later, please share this. This brother, good brother, Derrick Moore, started a pizza, Slim and Huskies from the ground up. And I know it's a lot of other people that have done this too, but that's was a listen, that in itself, brother, I applaud you guys.
Thank you, man.
Thank you
Appreciate it.
so much, man. God
Thank you.
bless you guys, your future endeavor. And like I said, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. And please share this. And we're gonna be down to see you, Slim and Husky,
Yeah, man.
downtown elementary. We coming over there. We're gonna put on the show. We're gonna have pizza, we're gonna have cookies, we're gonna have it the whole nine. So I'm listen, Miss Phyllis Allison, I'm gonna hit you up and I'm gonna get with my good brother, and we're gonna be over there to see you.
Yeah, man.
Good
Thank you,
brother.
Sid. I
Love you, brother.
appreciate it.
Have a
Yeah,
blessing,
man.
brother. We'll be in touch,
All right.
okay?
All right.
Yes, sir.